Hey everyone, welcome back to Everyday Rita. Today is going to be a little DIY video for my home. I have this window right over here. This window right over here, which is actually right next to my front door. And I am going to frost it a little bit so it's not so see-through. So, you know, if I'm walking around and things I don't want people to see, they don't need to see me. And I don't need to always look out there. So I am going to frost this. It's bugging Robert so much too. He's like, babe, you gotta get this going. So we're gonna do that. I have all of my supplies right over here. I kind of just wanted to show you guys really quick. That is the stencil that I'm going to be using to quote unquote, you know, frost the glass. I was really actually looking for the pattern to be the other way around. So all this part being, like clear, you know, what do you call it? Like cut out, and then the actual design to be solid, so that way more surface area is frost. But for some reason at Michael's, I just couldn't find it. Everything was this style. So I picked one that's still gonna give me enough coverage that you can't really see in, because some of them was just, the designs were so big that you would have just saw everything. There was no point in frosting. This one, it's small enough to where somebody would really literally have to like come up on the glass to, you know, look inside. And then I have an X-Acto knife because I do need, there is some design, if you can see right there, that's not cut out. And I need it because the way the window is, it just has to get done that way. And then I have the frost. So this is the one that I'm using. It is Uber Frost Clear Ultra Frosted Finish. It looks like this. And then some painter's tape. So sorry, I just have it on the floor right now because the house is looking kind of a mess. Anyways, let me go ahead and show you the next step at that point. Okay, so this is step one of this project that I am doing. You want to first get your stencil. So mine was much bigger than the width of my window. So I just taped it up top as far as where I wanted the design to be on each panel, because this is, you know, not big enough, like long enough for my whole window. I'm just going to go panel by panel. So each panel. So I got the design I wanted. I centered it how I wanted. And then I just taped it up top. And then in order to, you know, when I'm gonna cut it, I just bent it. So once it was here, I kind of just tucked it into the glass here, and then I just bent it, and it was so easy to just bend and have that crease. So I did that to both sides. I'm just gonna make a little mark here where the end of the panel goes, so I know where to cut at that point. And then I'm going to cut out this part, because if you can see here, this is actually not cut out. This is just a design. So I need to get my X-Acto knife and actually cut this design out, because it is part of the, you know, window, and I don't want that all to be completely unfrosted. I do want some frosting right there as well. So that is the first step, and then we'll move to step two. Just a quick clarification. Earlier when I was showing you the supplies you needed, I said an X-Acto knife. This is a box cutter. I was going to use this because we're still in the process of unpacking everything and I couldn't find my X-Acto knife, but I did find my X-Acto knife. So I just said X-Acto knife and I was just going to use this. So yes, I know this is a box cutter. I know this is an X-Acto knife. This is just what I was going to use. Luckily not, because it was so hard. I was just starting to cut right now, and this made it so hard. So I'm so happy my husband found my X-Acto knife for me. Just a little quick update on that. I am just getting the X-Acto knife, and I am cutting out this design here, since I do need that to complete it. I did cut it down. I cut the sides down, and I made like a little mark right here. I just cut it a little over just in case. And that's where we're at. So as you can see, I finally got my stencil cut out. That top piece right over there is where I had to actually use the X-Acto knife and cut it out. I masked the whole entire window seal so none of the paint gets on it. And I also masked the little separation. So let me show you over here. These little separations between the different window panels, I also masked, since this part is kind of exposed, because I want the design to come as close to it as possible. So I did mask that up so that doesn't get, you know, frosted. So it looks like this. This was a pain. I really hope you guys can find a stencil that, you know, the whole thing is cut and not like a design is not cut out or something a little bit different. I just, for some reason, the Michaels I went to didn't have exactly what I was looking for. This was my best bet, the one I liked the most. But anyways, I put newspaper down just so that way as I'm spraying here, nothing gets here, because I am keeping the design panel by panel. So I am not like continuing the design. I mean, it is gonna pretty much be continuing, but I just want to keep it separate, so panel by panel. So that's how it is. I'm gonna go ahead and spray it now with that frost that I showed you, and I'll show you how it looks like at that point. This is how it's looking. This is the first one. I cannot stress to you guys enough how much it is, how important it is to clean your window. So if that was not step one, that is step one. This one and this one, I don't even know if it's gonna pick up on camera, it probably won't, but are super, super dirty with calcium. The owners before us just loved plants. This whole entire front yard was covered in plants, and it just calcium buildup from watering them all the time. Anyways, I tried my best to take out as much as I can, so that's, you know, how it is. If you can tell, and I don't know if the camera's picking up these little spots of this one right here, and there's a few up there. Those ones, I could barely even see when I cleaned the window. Like, I didn't even know they were there, but now that I spray painted it, it like pops, which is annoying the crap out of me. So I don't know what I'm gonna do. I tried to make sure all these windows didn't have any of those little tiny, they're literally like these tiny little, I don't even know what it is, but just tiny little things that I had to like scrape with like a little scraper to get off. So, you know, I thought the window was clean enough, but apparently not. Anyways, this is how it looks so far. I have no idea what I'm gonna do about that stupid thing. It's gonna annoy the crap out of me, but I'll figure it out. But as of right now, this is how it looks, and I am loving it. So on to the second panel. Look how pretty this looks. I love it. Let me give you like a far shot. Look at that. Of course, from here you can't see it as well. Let's see if I like kind of zoom in, but yeah, just so you get an idea. I love the way it came out. It's so pretty. So Robert still thinks that you can see a little bit too much inside. So what I'm going to do is do one light frosting across the whole thing. So if you can kind of tell here, a little bit got a little frosted, like the glass part is not as clear as, let's say, like right here, right? So that's kind of what I'm going for. I'm gonna do one light frost across the whole thing with no stencil, and that way hopefully it'll still darken it a bit, but you can still see the design really nicely. So I'm gonna go ahead and try that. I really, really like it like this. I love how the design pops so nicely. I think it looks so pretty, but Robert is kind of right. You can still kind of see the design is still not, you know, I guess like the coverage is not, you know, full coverage, I guess if you want to call it that. So I'm definitely gonna go ahead and do one light coat just to kind of make it a little frosty across the board. Okay, this is the final product. Look how pretty this is. So I don't know if you can tell the difference, but it is a lot more frosted than it was. So the glass in between is not fully clear. I think you can tell. And if you guys are wondering how it looks like from the outside, let me go ahead and show you, because I do think that from the inside you could almost see outside a little bit more. But once we go outside, let me show you how it looks. Just so you have an idea. There it is from the outside. It's a very subtle, see how you can barely just kind of see the design? Yet you can't really see inside. So that is how it looks. So if you guys have a window that you think you need a little bit of privacy and you don't want to just, you know, put a curtain there, or it's like a weird shape like this where I think a curtain would look really weird here, or you don't want to use some kind of vinyl piece, like that's what the original owners did. They put like, it looked like the stained glass from like Beauty and the Beast. It was like a vinyl. I think you've seen it in one of our first videos of the house. That's what they had, but it looked really cheesy. So this looks a lot better. Looks a lot more cleaner, more classier, and it gives us that privacy that we want. I kind of want to do here too, because this is not that tall. I mean, if you're taller than me, you can pretty much see inside. So I think I may want to do, oh, and I just locked myself out. Awesome. But yeah, I think I may want to do the top as well. So yeah, fun fact about our door, it locks from both sides. So if the outside is not locked, but the inside is unlocked, it won't open from the outside. Both the inside and outside have to be locked. Thanks, babe.
You're welcome.
All right. I really hope you guys enjoyed this little DIY. I think it came out really good. I'm so glad that we got to do this because it needed to get done. We were so tired of it just being clear out in the open, like people can just see. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Have a great day. Bye.